There is a specific kind of baseball game that stays with you. Not because of a walk-off, not because of a perfect game, but because everything that can happen in this sport, brilliance, controversy, tension, and resilience, gets packed into 9 innings. The Dodgers versus Diamondbacks matchup at Chase Field was exactly that kind of game. A generational talent dominated with the bat, got targeted in a play that sparked a league-wide conversation, responded with complete professionalism, and then watched his team nearly blow a 4-run lead before holding on for dear life. This was baseball at its most intense. The Los Angeles Dodgers arrived in Arizona carrying one of the best records in the National League. Sitting at 39 wins and 22 losses, they had established themselves as the clear frontrunners in the NL West and one of the most dangerous teams in all of baseball. Every game at this point in the season adds to or chips away at that foundation, which is why the Dodgers approached this road matchup with full focus. Eric Lauer was handed the starting assignment for Los Angeles, while the Diamondbacks countered with Michael Soroka on the mound. Chase Field was ready. The crowd was behind their team. And Shohei Ohtani was already locked in during warm-ups, showing the kind of focused body language that opposing pitchers learn to fear. From his very first swings of the game, Ohtani showed that he was in top form. Soroka had no easy path to retiring him. In the first inning, Ohtani stepped into the box and immediately put pressure on the Diamondbacks starter. On the third pitch of the at-bat, he launched a powerful swing to right field for a quality double. Clean contact, perfect direction, and immediate damage. The runner was in scoring position and the Dodgers were already threatening. What followed made it even better. Freddie Freeman stepped up next and blasted a 2-run home run over the outfield wall, clearing the bases and handing Los Angeles an early 2-0 lead. Ohtani crossed home plate as the first Dodger to score in the game, a detail that felt symbolic given everything that followed. This channel, Baseball Daily, is pushing toward its first 500 subscribers. If real baseball breakdowns are what you're here for, subscribe right now, hit the like button, share this video, and join this community before it explodes. A 2-run lead in the first inning is a strong start. What Ohtani did in the second inning turned that start into a statement. The Dodgers had runners on base with 1 out, and Soroka found himself in a dangerous position. Rather than working carefully, he made the kind of mistake that costs pitchers games at the highest level. He left the first pitch right in the middle of the strike zone. For a hitter in Ohtani's form, that is not a pitch you survive. He unleashed another powerful swing, once again sending the ball deep into right field, replicating the same zone he had attacked in his first at-bat. The ball rolled all the way into the corner. Both runners crossed home plate. The Dodgers' lead jumped to 4-0, and Ohtani was already sprinting with everything he had. That is where the game shifted from a baseball story into something much bigger. While the Diamondbacks' defense was still retrieving the ball, Ohtani accelerated all the way toward third base. His speed is well documented across the league, and he was not slowing down for anyone. He was focused entirely on applying maximum pressure and taking every base the defense would surrender. That laser focus is what made what happened next so striking. Nolan Arenado, Arizona's third baseman, appeared directly in Ohtani's running path at a critical moment. Based on what unfolded on the field, Arenado was alleged to have deliberately initiated contact in an attempt to impede the Japanese superstar's progress. The collision lasted only a fraction of a second, but the impact was visible to everyone watching. Ohtani lost his balance and was forced to adjust his stride mid-run. He slowed, showed visible signs of discomfort in his leg, and looked directly toward the umpire. The Dodgers' dugout emptied to the top step immediately. Every player and coach locked onto their franchise player with visible concern. The stakes of that moment cannot be overstated. Ohtani is not just one of the league's best hitters, he also serves as a starting pitcher, making him arguably the most physically valuable player in all of baseball. Any issue affecting his physical condition could have major consequences for the Dodgers' plans in the coming weeks. The team's medical staff came onto the field without hesitation. The stadium, which had been buzzing with energy, went almost completely silent as fans waited for any sign of how serious the injury might be. Fortunately, the initial examination showed no signs of a serious injury. Ohtani was cleared to continue playing and returned to his position after the medical staff confirmed there was no significant damage. The collective exhale from the Dodgers side was audible. The baseball world, however, was not ready to move on. After the game, MLB reviewed video footage from multiple camera angles to assess the nature of the contact. What those slow-motion replays showed kept the debate alive. The footage confirmed that the contact directly and clearly affected Ohtani's stride. Analysts across every major broadcast platform argued that Arenado's action went well beyond the boundaries of a routine defensive play. The argument was straightforward. When a base runner is moving at full speed, any deliberate action that disrupts his path creates a genuine injury risk, regardless of whether that injury actually occurs. MLB issued a suspension against Nolan Arenado. After completing its review, the league determined that his conduct did not align with the standards of sportsmanship MLB holds its players to. The suspension was a direct message that the league would not overlook actions that endanger opposing players, regardless of context or game situation. Ohtani addressed the media after the game, and his response drew widespread attention, not because it was explosive, but because it was the opposite. Rather than focusing on the controversy, he said, I feel fortunate that I wasn't seriously injured, but I hope teams and players can compete fairly and respect one another." That statement was praised broadly by fans, analysts, and fellow players. It reflected exactly the kind of professionalism that has made Ohtani one of the most respected figures in modern baseball, both in the United States and internationally. Down 4-0 and facing a Dodgers team that had just built serious momentum, the Arizona Diamondbacks chose not to fold. That is worth acknowledging. In the bottom of the third inning, Corbin Carroll connected on a solo home run, cutting the deficit to 4-1 and giving the home crowd something to hold onto. Chase Field found its voice again. The Diamondbacks continued pressing in the fifth inning, producing a string of quality at-bats and adding another run to bring the score to 4-2. The gap was shrinking, the crowd was getting louder, and the Dodgers' early dominance was beginning to feel less permanent. Los Angels answered in the seventh inning with a rally that looked, for a moment, like it had completely ended the game. Dalton Rushing opened the inning with a quality double, putting a runner in scoring position with no outs. Alex Freeland followed with a disciplined sacrifice bunt, advancing Rushing to third base. The Diamondbacks faced a decision with Ohtani coming to the plate, and they made the calculated choice to issue an intentional walk, refusing to let him beat them for a third time in the same game. The strategy failed. With one out and runners on first and third, Andy Pages delivered a sacrifice fly that scored the runner from third, pushing the Dodgers' lead to 5-2. One batter later, Mookie Betts, one of MLB's most consistently excellent hitters, drove an RBI single to make it 6-2. A 4-run lead with limited innings remaining felt more than enough. The Dodgers looked to be in complete control. Baseball has a way of humbling teams that feel too comfortable. In the bottom of the seventh inning, Kyle Hurt entered to protect the lead and ran directly into trouble. Arizona's offense found a rhythm it had been missing, stringing together consecutive quality hits and refusing to waste its opportunities. The Diamondbacks scored, then scored again, and then scored again. The lead evaporated from 6-2 to 6-3, then 6-4, then 6-5 in a sequence of at-bats that shifted the entire atmosphere inside Chase Field. What had been a comfortable road win for Los Angels suddenly became a one-run game in the late innings, with Arizona's crowd fully behind a potential comeback. The Dodgers, who had appeared to be in complete control, suddenly faced tremendous pressure in the closing innings. Every pitch in those final frames carried maximum weight. One mistake, one bad count, one misplaced fastball, and the game was tied. The bullpen arms who entered after Hurt understood the moment completely. Fortunately, the Dodgers' bullpen settled down at exactly the right moment. The later relievers retired the batters they needed to retire, protected the one-run margin, and closed the door on Arizona's rally. The final out landed, the scoreboard confirmed it, and Los Angels walked away with a 6-5 victory. Before this game is fully put to rest, one performance deserves more recognition than it received. Eric Lauer started on the mound for the Dodgers and delivered 4.2 innings of work, allowing just 2 runs on 5 hits. He kept the game structured during the early stages, controlled Arizona's lineup well for most of his time on the mound, and gave the Dodgers' offense the foundation it needed to build a lead. The results he produced were genuine. However, because he did not complete 5 full innings, MLB rules made Lauer ineligible to receive the official win. The individual credit did not come. The contribution was real regardless. Final score: Dodgers 6, Diamondbacks 5. Season record: 39 wins and 22 losses. Los Angels remains at the top of the National League West with a record that reflects the kind of team they are: talented, resilient, and capable of winning games that do not go according to plan. Shohei Ohtani finished the game with 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored, plus a layer of controversy and an injury scare that could have derailed everything. It did not. He played through it, performed at an elite level, and addressed the aftermath with complete class. That combination, elite production and elite character, is exactly why there is no one else in baseball quite like him. If you enjoy real baseball content and breakdowns like this, you'll like what's coming next on Baseball Daily. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share this video with the biggest baseball fan you know. And drop a comment right now. Was Arenado's suspension the right call, or was it just a hard baseball play? Every comment, every share, and every new subscriber helps this channel grow. See you in the next one.